Hi everyone. So this is the second resource that I've chosen. It's a sight word assessment that I use with my students towards the end of the year, with various sight words that we teach them throughout the year. I'm using it's in Adobe Acrobat, so I'm using like the PDF version that I would download, but I'm keeping it in like the web page view. So part of the reason that I'm keeping it in the web page view is because it has a read aloud feature built right in, which is awesome. So you have the read aloud option, so students who can't see the words can hear the different sight words. Now I know, like, how would hearing sight words help students identify different sight words? It is a sight word activity, so instead of having students say and identify the word, they can write and spell the word using either a voice recording software or by writing the word out. And this is also great for mobility impairments, as Rice talked about on page 228. There's an online drawing tool where the students can draw and circle either using their mouse or if they have a touchscreen enabled device, they can. So right now I'm using my finger to circle. So they can say A, circle it, circle it, and circle it, and can do for go, so on and so forth. So there's two different ways if they can't necessarily use a mouse or use like the keyboard, they can circle the letters using their fingers. They can also voice record themselves by doing a screencast like I'm doing right now. The text-to-speech is a huge help. The only downside is you cannot have the text-to-speech on while you're drawing. So you have to either be recording or drawing. So the student would have to record themselves circling it and then draw. Or again, they could use the screen capture while they're drawing. The best way to teach this would be in a breakout group, and group the students intentionally, so you can help students with different difficulties, visual impairments, reading difficulties, like Rice talks about on page 220. Intentional grouping is a big factor with helping students with different types of learning abilities. Going back to the Rice reading about measurable goals for an IEP, students are able to complete this assignment just in varied ways. Rice talks about being proactive in learning about the necessary accommodations and assistive technology. So learning how you can draw on the screen, have your student listen to the text. I'll do a brief. So you can change the speed of voice. Obviously, you would need to do that because, as you heard, it's very fast when it's reading at the normal speed. So that's one of the challenges that I had was, and also too, it does the copyright, the sight word assessment, and then the score, which is the 0 out of 30, and the different sight words. And you cannot, like I said before, you need to slow down the voice, and you cannot use the drawing tool at the same time. For a tier 1 accommodation, you could have students write the sight words in shaving cream or whipped cream, and have the students record themselves doing it, so that way you know that they're understanding and comprehending the different sight words. And then the online accessibility handbook, I looked at both a Word document and a PDF for this. One of the cool things about this is when the students complete it, they can save it as a PDF and email it. So they can circle the words that they got right, write the correct number at the bottom, and then send it to the teacher. Or they can record themselves doing the shaving cream activity or another method. So the screen reader reads a table from left to right, top to bottom, which is obviously what happened. So it went a, am, and can. So, and then the accessibility checker is a helpful resource. I use that in PowerPoint. So you could upload this into a Word document and use it, check the accessibility for it. And so this is just a great resource to help students with varying levels of how they can work on the worksheet. Normally, I just print this out and have my kids tell me the different words. But this is a great resource. I could do this with my kids on my laptop and see if they could circle it. And also, too, you can send it and work on it virtually with them. So it's a great resource for that. But again, the challenge is like the reader reads it really quickly. So that's a huge drawback. And I feel like, too, playing with it a little bit more, if I could find a different reading program, that would also be a huge help. Thanks.